What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Tom and Joey Entertainment, a.k.a. TJENT. This is Real Talk with Tom and Joey, episode 3, numero tres this week.
We're on Spanish.
We're going Spanish every week. We'll see how long my Spanish knowledge extends, number-wise. And speak of the Spanish Devil this week. The Spanish Devil. That actually fits, too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, I have Colombian Devil.
Oh.
We'll go with the Colombian Devil.
they're the same thing though, right? In your
Maybe,
eyes? Yeah.
maybe. I was thinking the language Spanish, not like the ethnicity of Spanish, like from Spain. More that the language of Spanish.
Yeah, but Spain Spanish is fucked.
Yeah. Well, do they even?
It's different.
Yeah, because it's different from like the Spanish they speak in Mexico
America.
and Latin America rather than Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish.
There
you go.
They speak it over.
They speak in Spanish. Tom, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
That's all you get.
Doing well.
Just
a good.
Just a good old fashioned good.
Your week was good.
Yeah.
You had a really tough week this week, didn't you?
Yeah, I was puppy sitting.
Yeah.
Which was the pretty great job.
Big.
Yeah. Seven.
One of the hardest jobs
Bernese
you could ever
Mountain
do.
Dog puppy. That was pretty damn adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll provide a pipicture for you right here.
Yeah.
This is the adorable puppy that time. Because you took a picture, right? Yeah, you posted it on Instagram. That's
Yeah.
right. You can see that. Instagram.com/THazelwood7.
Yes.
There you go.
Hazelwood 7.
Yes. Oh,
I mean, it's either
It's
T Hazelwood or Hazelwood.
as long as you spell it right, you get it right.
Yeah.
There you go. Puppy sitting. I didn't have the greatest week on Thursday. I had like a little. It was like right after lunch while I was still at work. I had like a stomach issue and like I think it was like I ate something.
Probably food poisoning.
Maybe like minor food poisoning. But it was funny because I was telling you this yesterday. One of the hardest things, or one of the most like difficult things I had to do was try to explain to my boss in an email that I was on the brink of blown chunks.
Yeah.
But then not explicitly saying that I was going to blow chunks all over the office.
I'm about to throw up all over your office, but I need to tell you this in a professional way that doesn't make me sound like a dick.
Yeah, exactly. So I formulated it in the email. I said, it's not getting any better, and I feel like as though I'm going to get more sick.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, a situation that I would like to avoid in the office.
Right.
So it was definitely the best way I could put it, but definitely not a great way to end the week. That was on Thursday, but I feel a lot better today.
Yeah. Well, and Splatoon came out Friday. So.
Yes, and I've been playing a massive amount of Splatoon. Splatooning all over that
everywhere.
Nintendoverse. Lots of fun. It's going to be a good week, and this is going to be a good episode, too.
I would hope so.
I have a good feeling about this episode.
Are we ever going to have an intro where we say this episode's going to be really, really shitty?
Maybe someday.
Maybe.
When we just know for sure. It's just like, we're not have confidence in this episode at all.
We didn't put any time or effort.
Yeah.
So this one's going to kind of suck.
This one's going to be pretty shitty. So, as you known from the last episode, I have this little monologue. I haven't gotten it down yet.
Yep.
But I'm getting close. And it's going to sound more fluent this time. Although I'm still going to be reading it. It's not going to sound like I'm reading it.
Whoa.
So if you're listening to us on iTunes.
Well, no one would know. If you listen to it on iTunes, no one would know if you're reading it or not. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
So
And that's
for
how
those people, you're not reading it.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk with Tom and Joey. Each and every week, Tom and I both bring 2 random topics of discussion to the table for your entertainment while, most importantly, keeping it real. If you enjoy what we do, you can head over to patreon.com/TJENT, where you can throw us a few bucks of support and get the show early, along with some other sick rewards, such as suggesting a topic, if you so please, at $5. That seems to be a hot commodity right now. Got a whole 2 patrons. It's on fire.
Oof.
Man, we cannot get enough. If you don't have any bucks to throw, it's all good in the hood. You can tune in every single weekday here on youtube.com/TJENT, where at noon Eastern Standard Time, we will break up each weekly episode day by day, topic by topic, until the entire episode goes up on Friday as one big video. And if you don't want to watch the videos, we understand.
No big deal.
People got places to be, things to do, places to see.
Don't want to look at us?
Yeah. You want to listen to us on the go, you totally can. Just go on iTunes, search Real Talk with Tom and Joey, or any combination of that didn't make any sense, but you know what I mean.
I think I got it.
Real Joey Tom Talk with.
What you're saying is don't put our names or Real Talk in iTunes and you'll find it.
Yes.
That's what I got from your statement.
Yeah.
Bingo.
If you know our logo, you should be able to find us pretty easily. Give us a subscribe on there. Give us a review.
Yep.
That'd be huge.
Spam it.
Let us know what you think, even if it's a shitty review. Preferably not a shitty review.
Yeah. Not as we're getting started. If I'm being totally honest, that would be kind of lame.
Yeah,
but hey, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Give us a shitty review, but with 5 stars.
Yeah, so like 5 stars, but then give
and
us
then
like
rip us apart. Whatever. That's cool.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because as long as we get the review, it really helps us out, gets us into more ears.
That's called compromising.
Yeah. It's compromise. That's what we're all about here.
Yeah.
We're all about here. And as always, we're pro Orifice. So wherever you want to stick those headphones, we'll still love you.
Yep.
And if you don't know,
Now you know.
now you know. There you go. It's getting better. It's getting more fluent. Sooner or later, I'll just be able to roll it off with no teleprompter whatsoever.
Correcto.
So, for the first topic of the week, I'm going to go first this week,
All right.
since you went first this week.
So topic uno.
Topic uno. There you go. You beat it. You beat me to it. My first topic has to do with retail and where we think the future of retail is headed. And I bring this topic up because as of June 16th, 2017, so this was about a month ago, Amazon bought Whole Foods for $13.7 billion. Billion dollars. That is a whole lot of money. And guess what they paid it in, Tom?
Paid it in
Sweet
convertible
cash.
bonds.
They paid it in cash. Cash.
Kind of.
Which is nuts.
Kind of.
Well, here's the nitty-gritty details. Amazon agreed to pay $42 a share in cash for the organic food chain Whole Foods, including the debt, a roughly 27% premium for the stock price. So, and then John Mackey, which is Whole Foods co-founder, will also stay on to continue to run the business, but it's pretty much just going to be Amazon Foods now.
Yeah.
And this is where I say and too much. We noticed that in the last recording, and I say and too. It's like almost my filler for
your
between
default.
sentences. Yeah, where I'm thinking. So I'm gonna try and correct that. We're all about improvements here.
Yes.
So pretty much the basic conversation that I wanted to have is where do we think retail is headed, and in terms of specifically with the grocery store type business, where we think, because I think eventually that once drones are able to deliver products like Amazon wants them to, and if they're able to deliver groceries, that's going to significantly impact the retail business, because you got to think that the majority of retail stores at this point, especially with the numerous avenues online that you're able to buy products, the majority of the retail stores that will remain open will be grocery stores.
Yeah. Yeah. And clothing stores.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it. I think clothing will always be around because you want to try on, like, clothing is in apparel, shoes, fan shops, that sort of thing, because you want to try on what you buy. I think guys are a little bit less inclined to try stuff on because once you get, we have such, like, we don't have size 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just
medium
small,
and large.
Is it cotton? Because it might shrink a little bit.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
The extent of my clothing knowledge.
Yeah, and I mean sizes in general there is some parity, but it's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I honestly am not too thrilled about Amazon buying Whole Foods. I think I don't know how much that's gonna pay off for them.
Yeah,
I know that they want to get into the food market, but the problem with Amazon is they have huge profitability concerns, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, it took them a while to turn over a profit 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And even though their stock price was really high and people were like, oh, in the future it's going to pay off, Bezos likes spending dough.
Yeah.
And he is not shy at all when it comes to spending money. And at some point, something's going to bend and break. And to me, it's like, if you're spending all the money you're generating and you're not giving it to your shareholders, at some point they're going to get pissed off. And if something busts, and then all of a sudden they look at you and say, well, why the hell did you spend billions of dollars in this project when you didn't need to? I don't see that. I don't see that ending well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was kind of weird. I saw one joke that somebody tweeted out of Jeff Bezos talking to Alexa. And he's like, Alexa, buy me something from Whole Foods. And then the quote says, Alexa, buying Whole Foods. And then it was Bezos, oh shit.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. But I just think that this kind of goes into where retail store is headed.
Yeah.
Not even just grocery stores, because you got to think that clothing stores will probably be the last retail to
Go.
If
they do.
Yeah, if they do at all.
I doubt they will. Because electronics, I think, are like, there's no way that they stay around. Because we've already seen, like, Best Buy is going to go under in our lifetime for sure.
And the biggest benefit towards technology shopping online for technology, I think, is reviews.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, that's
when
a
you
good point.
when you look at a product, I mean, that's pretty much 95% of the reason behind me buying the actual product and making
Right.
that final push to actually like charge my card, put
Right.
in the cash to actually buy the product is the reviews, because you got to think that, especially on Amazon, when you see those products with 250 reviews, all 5 stars, or even like 2,500 reviews, all
Yeah,
5 stars,
yeah.
you got to think, okay, not only is this product good, but people took the time out of their day to review it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be even more so
Yeah.
better than the average product or the other products that you may be comparing to. And another thing, which would be a cool idea if certain stores were able to implement this, like Best Buy and what was the other one I thinking of? Like maybe even GameStop too. When they put, if they can put mini, I mean, obviously this would cost a lot of money, but I think it would be a benefit in the end if they were to put like mini, not even LCD screens, but maybe mini, like those things you see on stores that pass by where they have those graphics on the screen, maybe as like an advertisement to drivers driving across their business.
Oh, gotcha.
So on like the screen right below the product, they have like the product and maybe reviews.
Yeah, well, some of them do it just with print.
Oh, just like with stickers and
It'll,
stuff.
it'll say like, 4.4 on blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
And see, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I think, like I said before, I think when it comes to a person making that push and purchasing a product online, the biggest thing that's going to make them purchase it is going to be a positive
Yeah,
review.
because you do have people in the store that'll say like, this is what I use.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that carries some weight. But, yeah, I mean, you have thousands of people who spent their own money for no reason, essentially, other than they wanted it. They wrote a review. If they say it's good, then I'm probably going to believe them.
Yeah.
But electronics are so easy to get anywhere that you don't need to go anywhere to get them. But if you do, the chances of them having what you need are pretty low.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we both built our own PCs. I got all my PC parts on Amazon.
Oh,
I
really?
tried to go to Best Buy and look for stuff, and there was not much that I was looking for specifically. But on Amazon, not only was it all there, but it was pretty cheap too. I mean, it wasn't like a crazy good deal, but it was definitely cheaper than what I would have paid if they had it at Best Buy or something like that. So it's like, I can get a TV from literally everywhere. Why would I spend time going around store to store to store unless you're looking for like a crazy good deal in one store that they're not going to put online?
Yeah, and a lot more places are price matching now.
Yeah.
And that's another thing where it makes it so
Yeah,
maybe
Best Buy does.
yeah, the specific store that you're going to doesn't even matter that much anymore.
Yeah.
And another thing, again. When what was I just going to say? When you're purchasing a product, when it has to do with the review, what was I going to say? I totally forgot. But another thing about what was it?
It's going to bug you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to bug me.
Well, regardless, for retail in general, I think electronics are first. But the next to go, it's really tough. I honestly think that retail is going to get away from chains and just get to localized markets. Because in our area, we have a couple local stores like Cherry Republic. So anyone that's not familiar with Traverse City, even though most of our listeners probably are, we Cherry Capital of the World, that's our staple point, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, whatever. It's a huge selling point with local markets to put into food and advertising, blah, blah, blah. But there's also M22. It's just a road that a lot of people take to go surfing. It's a beautiful road. It's essentially just the brand identity of like surfing, kiteboarding, wakeboarding, blah, blah, blah. But they make clothing with the M22 road logo on it. And I don't see that business going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're just getting bigger and bigger. So I think those localized retail markets that have like their brand is just associated with such a unique and kind of nostalgic and warm to your heart essence to it. I think those type of things will stay. So state pride or, city pride or stuff that you can only have, I think that stuff will stay in retail locations because it's a huge branding thing for them. And they might have online shops too, but it's still just a part of the town and people will go out of their way. And that's kind of Midwestern small town thinking, but I think that'll help. On the flip side though, bigger chains that just sell random stuff like Radio Shack or Best Buy, or I'm trying to think of even to some extent
Like Target.
a place like Target, they're gonna have to size down big time.
Oh yeah.
But there is, I mean, grocery stores to me are always going to be around, because I don't buy into the drone delivery system at all.
No?
I think it's a huge waste of time because you have a huge regulatory ladder to get through, because drones are already being regulated a lot more than people think. I know I know a couple of people that sold theirs because they can't fly it in a lot of different areas because the FCC is already, is it the FCC?
Yeah.
Yeah. The FCC is already saying, listen, you can't fly over here for privacy reasons, you can't fly over here for safety reasons, and you can't fly here because of like low flying planes or something like that. Like there's a billion different reasons what they come up with. I just can't imagine a world where drones are literally flying all around you at all times and the FCC's on board.
Yeah, you got to think that in order for, and by the way, I thought of what I was going to say earlier. When you got to think that if Amazon was going to make this push for drones to be delivering products, that they would have a plan in place in order to compromise or satisfy the regulations. So let's say for privacy reasons, maybe they don't include a camera with the drones. So maybe they are mandatory where the drones aren't programmed by a camera, but rather than programmed by a camera, they're programmed more as more like a autopilot GPS type thing.
But then what about package security?
What do you mean? Like,
well, I see a drone with a package, it crashes and falls, I take the package and run.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely because they would have to perfect it to the point where they would have no lack of confidence in terms of a drone crashing or a drone being low enough for something or someone to shoot it down. Because you got to think that if they were going to make this push, the drones would not be in any visible, like they would be as high as they possibly could go
Right.
of their threshold, and then hopefully be out of the visibility of a person standing on the ground. And with the privacy reasons, to maybe not include the camera, like I said, and then have that high enough so the point where you can't shoot it down, you can't see it, you can't obviously you can't hear it because those things it's quiet as shit now. It's ridiculous, but it's definitely interesting. I think they would have a plan in place in order to implement it and go.
I know what I would do.
Compromise on the FCC regulations. What?
I would take the delivery trucks that already exist.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say like UPS or USPS or FedEx, whatever. Put all the drones in those trucks. Have the driver hit a region.
Yeah, hit like a location and they all
and
launch.
Then just open up the back
Yeah.
like a flock of doves.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I laugh, but like in all reality, I think that's actually a pretty good compromise.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they're traveling from a distribution center. It's just like, okay, you basically did the job of going door to door on this entire street in like 2 seconds.
And not to mention, you think about the environmental benefits that it provides, because not only do you not have trucks driving to each individual location and wasting all that gas and emitting all that exhaust into the air, but then you also have maybe planes not making as many trips with packages as they once would.
Maybe.
But what I was going to say earlier has to do with more convenience stores, because you got to think when we were talking about building our own PC, one of the websites that we used was, okay, pick out the product that you want, and then we'll find the best price on whatever website it is.
Yeah.
And you got to think that places like that and websites like that and businesses like that are going to become more popular. And really, Amazon is just a glorified version of that, because you go to Amazon, I mean, it's almost a running joke now that literally anything you want, you can go on Amazon and it'll have it no matter what it is.
And there's different sellers too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because anybody can sell anything on Amazon now. It's almost like
you
a hybrid between eBay and Walmart almost.
And it's like the way Amazon works is you own a store within Amazon, and you can literally find your own. I guess distributor is a good way to say. So say I find a distributor or a manufacturer. That's a better word. If I find a manufacturer that makes a certain product in like India, I can buy all their stock and then sell it on Amazon, and I can just run my own Amazon business. And I know people that do that, and some of them can do pretty well, but that's still technically retail. I just think that retail locations, it's nuts to think retail locations going under just because I'm thinking in my head, what are we gonna put in them?
Because you got to think of you look
Offices?
Yeah, probably.
Most likely.
You got to think that what do you go, because on an average day, I use retail pretty much only for food. But another thing that I like to use retail for is that has to do with technology really is video games, because you got to think with video games, if you buy them online, you can send them back. Let's say if you want to trade in games, because I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
I always like to keep my collection low and get rid of stuff that I know I'm not going to play.
I am the complete opposite.
Yes.
But
yeah,
different topic for a different day.
Correct. But that's another benefit where retail stores come in, because instead of, a GameStop's right next to where I work. So instead of sending it in, packaging it up,
yeah, because that's really annoying.
Paying for the shipping, and then not only doing all of that, but then shipping it, waiting for it to be registered, and maybe something happens. Like, I've had a problem with shipping when I was buying college books back in the day. I had a situation where all my college books came to my house, and I got home from I think it was work or something, and I saw like an empty open box on my front porch, and the book was not in there. So I had to go through a process of like almost a month and a half, where I appealed to my credit card company to reimburse me on the money, because I paid for the book to be shipped,
right,
and it didn't appear on my front doorstep. And then they told me that I had to contact the bookseller directly, and it was one of those things where I used one of the websites where you type in what book you need and it provides all the prices.
Yeah, right.
So it wasn't necessarily a revered company that was sending me the books, but I got it at a cheap price, so I took advantage of it. But then I went and called them, and then they put me through another company that they got the book from, and it was just outrageous, to the point where I don't even I actually forget how the situation was resolved, but I think after a month and a half, 2 months, I finally got my money back, and I had to order another book.
Right.
But I did not use that website. I never will to this day.
Yeah.
But and that's just another thing that could be relieved, maybe, if they implemented drone delivery, because the thing is with drone deliveries that you got to think that it's going to stay compact and still and in the package and not moving around, specifically maybe like with a glass.
Unless it drops it.
True. Yeah, and that's another thing with more of a problem of the drone, and they'll have to make sure that the drone is pretty much flawless. The same thing with like auto cars or something.
Yeah.
You're never going to put anything on the market like that, and it's handling products like that and doing business like that.
They have tested
unless it's
it. Like, this
flawless.
has already gone through in Seattle, so it's happening. I just don't think that large scale it'll work.
Fair enough.
I just think there's too many loops. I personally wouldn't even bother with it, because I wouldn't want to spend that much money in something that the government could just shut down so fast, because that's the beast you're going up against. Is they just say, you know what, we're done with this. This is a huge safety concern for people. Done.
The safety and privacy concerns are definitely valid.
Yeah.
And definitely probably the biggest hurdles that they'll be able to jump through. But then, pretty much the last point I'll make is just the umbrella advantage of getting rid of retail and providing this convenience is the fact that you're saving not only money in terms of everybody is putting more money into their pocket because they're not driving and not spending the gas money to get to these retail stores.
But that'll cost a lot up front.
True. For the companies that are doing the drone programs. But then also you get the fact of less emissions, because if you're staying home and not driving out to the store to get these retail products, they're being delivered to your house and your front doorstep, you're using a lot less gas and harming the environment a lot less on a grand scale.
Yeah. It's so new that it's almost hard to have an opinion about it, because it's just we've never seen anything to this extent before. So comparing it to anything, what's there to compare it to?
It's definitely tough.
Pretty much nothing.
It's definitely very interesting to see where it'll head.
And Bezos is just a wacko.
He just loves to spend that cash.
His ideas are, him and Elon Musk should just have a powwow together.
Yeah, right.
Where they just talk about the craziest ideas they've ever
come up
had.
with the batshit ideas.
Yeah.
And just see what they come up with.
Exactly.
If you have any opinions, let us know on youtube.com/TJENT, or if you're listening to us on podcast form.
Where do you go?
Patreon.com/TJENT. Maybe
That's
throw
a
us a
good
buck,
start.
and you can get access to that Patreon wall and let us know what you think with a post, and you might even be featured on the show.
Bang.
So there you go.
We have done that already.
Yes, multiple times.
Yes.